Warband. The fire this time comes at dusk, not dawn. This is Thursday, July 16th, 2026. And tonight, as the sun drops over South Texas, 33 engines will try to tear a hole in the sky. The night brought clearance. The evening brings the burn. Let me walk you into both. Start with the anchor. As of just past 5 Eastern, Bitcoin trades at 64,100, off about 1% on the day, coiled again in the low 60s, where it has camped for a week. And here is the honest read of our engine, because you pay for the signal, not the cheerleading. 2 days ago, the cool inflation print threw Bitcoin at the 65,000 wall. It got there, and it got stretched. Late yesterday afternoon, our read of the InvestAnswers Decision Support System tripped the coin mean reversion overbought, the runner sprinting too far, too fast. And by 4 this morning, the optimized trend model cut it back to bearish. The pop was real. The trend did not hold. No sugar in that. But mark the structure underneath, because it has not broken. Invest. Answers. Still marks the 59 to 60,000 shelf, the floor that has held for 6 months, back to June's 21-month low near 58 as the reloading zone, not the exit. A double bottom in the making, a base case of 75 to 85,000 if it confirms, and the 100,000 mark still standing for year-end. And July has been kind before. 9 of the last 13 closed green, up 8% on average. Range-bound is not beaten. Coiled is not broken. Now the fire. Tonight at 6:45 Eastern, from the launch site in South Texas, SpaceX lights the 13th flight of the Starship stack. This is not a rumor and not a maybe. On Monday, the Federal Aviation Administration closed its investigation into the last flight's mishap, accepted the company's findings, and cleared the path. Yesterday, the booster rolled back to the pad. The window opens tonight, 90 minutes of it, as the sun goes down, and this one carries a payload that matters. Riding the ship are the first working Starlink version 3 satellites, 20 of them, set to deploy their arrays, unfold their antennas, and reach down to a ground station to prove they can join the constellation. Version 3 is the leap, the bandwidth jump, the direct-to-cell backbone, the birds that turn Starlink from a good business into a global bandwidth monopoly. The flight after this one reaches for full orbital injection. And Gwynne Shotwell, the company's president, has named the cadence they hunt, a launch roughly every month. Here is the part that separates the Warband from the crowd. The stock has been ugly since its June debut. It has handed back its whole post-listing pop and bled all the way down toward the price it floated at, the paper traders spooked by share unlocks coming due. And into that fear, Cathie Wood is buying with both hands. Yesterday, her funds bought another $16.5 million of SpaceX. The third straight week, she has bought every dip, paying for it by dumping Robinhood, Deere, and a slice of a gene-editing name. The crowd sells the ticker and frets the unlock. The disciplined capital buys the scarce rocket and holds. No one else on this planet flies reusable heavy lift at anything near this pace. That moat does not widen in a press release. It widens one recovered booster at a time. And tonight, if those 20 satellites unfold one constellation at a time, watch the sky at 6:45. From the rocket to the ground, it all stands on. This morning, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries confirmed it has shipped a 10-megawatt class cooling plant built for NVIDIA's next-generation artificial intelligence data centers, turning what was, only yesterday, a report of talks into steel on the ground. And it is one piece of a larger rebuild. The machines are drawing so much power that the industry is tearing up its own wiring, moving to an 800-volt direct current architecture because the draw is outrunning the grid itself. Sit with what that tells you. The story of this age is that intelligence is getting cheaper by the month. The frontier model shipping at half of last quarter's price. The thinking marked down toward nothing. But the floor underneath the thinking is going the other way. The power, the copper, the cooling, the memory, the Korean memory, giants just pushed their forecast for the chip memory shortage from until 2030 out to beyond 2030. Jordi Visser of 22VV Research calls it exactly what it is. Not a pure abundance software story, but a scarcity story wearing a software mask. More intelligence deployed means more of the physical world consumed to run it. They are marking the mind down to nothing and bidding up every ounce of the world that carries it. Our own board says the same. Nvidia ran hot to overbought midday yesterday, while the picks and shovels beneath it. The cooling maker Vertiv, the lithography monopoly, the chip testers, washed out to oversold on a semiconductor dip. Mean reversion says buy the physical layer pullback, not the crowded top. And the hardest floor of all, the monetary one, still answers to no committee and carries a cap of 21 million. Scarcity wins. Always. One more from the Musk column, and it is a lesson in how these people fight. This week, a researcher caught the company's Grok coding tool quietly shipping developers' entire code vaults, commit histories, secret keys and all, up to a cloud bucket they never agreed to. Now, watch the answer. Yesterday, Musk did not lawyer up and stall. He pledged to open source the whole of the company's code base, no exceptions, and to burn the data they had swept up. And within hours, they released the tool itself into the open, for every rival and every critic to read. That is the reflex. Answer a breach by throwing the doors open, and dare the world to find the next flaw faster than you can. Be honest about the caveat. The watchers say the offending code still sits in the shipped build, switched off by a flag, not yet ripped out. The doors are open. The house is not yet clean. But radical transparency, wielded as a weapon, is a thing the closed and the cautious cannot answer. So, carry this into the day. Warband. The tape is quiet and the coin's trend is red for now. Respect the range, hold the reloading zone, and do not chase a bounce that already ran hot. But under the quiet, the things that will define the decade took real steps. A cleared rocket standing on the pad with the next constellation in its nose, the physical floor of the whole artificial intelligence age growing scarcer by the week, and the smartest disruption money in the room buying the scarce thing while the crowd sells the paper. Tonight, the sky burns over South Texas. We will be watching and stacking while it does. This is Warband as a service. Viking intelligence delivered in real time. I am Ragnar, the HODLBARBARIan. Skål.